Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. Oh, here we go. All right. I will see you guys in just 18 seconds.
Peace out. Sayonara, bitches.
I have not really missed Cody. I'm not pining for him. I'm not married to him anymore. So freaking awesome. I need a reason why my family got blown to smithereens.
I got nice pecs and a great six-pack abs.
Sorry for that echo. I had my browser open in another. I have to use Chrome for StreamYard, and I had Safari open with my YouTube. It's a whole mess. Anyways, sorry for the echo. Fix that. All right. Hello, everybody. Cody has great abs. Was it McKelty, I think, said that he does have good abs? Okay. Good for Cody. I have never had an ab in my life myself. All right, you guys, let me know what you thought of season 7, episode 7. I think someone commented in the Facebook group earlier today asking how many episodes season 18 is going to be, and I looked back. I think season 16 was 11 episodes, and then season 17 was 14 regular episodes, then 3 installments of the one-on-one tell-all. So if it goes according to last season, something similar, we're about halfway through. So I've seen a lot of comments regarding this episode. Not a lot happened. It was literally, I was listening to the Sister Wives Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided podcast, and they timed like these two conversations that accounted for the entire episode. Was about these two conversations, and it was about 8 minutes total of conversation. The rest was all the ATV motorbike scene and confessionals. So it was a lot of talk around some talk. So, not a lot of action, but we did get a lot of context, and we have to chug through this time in the Brown family's lives in order to get to what the really good stuff is going to be. And I think that it's going to be really good, because how Robin is losing control over Mary, and she does not know what to do with herself. I saw a bunch of people comment this switch that happened with Robin on screen when, Mary was saying, you never call me, Cody doesn't call me, his relationship with people, he could do better. And then Robin kind of snaps at her and says, well, what is he supposed to do? She did not expect Mary to be so off script, if you will. Kimberly, yes. Robin is still trying to drive this narrative that Christine ruined the family. Christine said everything was always so terrible. And Cody, poor Cody, he is just reeling from Christine saying all these derogatory things, not only about Cody, but of the family, about how polygamy in general was this awful experience for her. And Mary was like, no. I don't believe that for a second. Sure, we had problems, and sure, I believe Christine probably has talked some shit, But Christine in no way said that our entire history was terrible. I just don't believe that. I think that's a big step for Mary, because season 17, Mary, when we saw Christine announce she was going to leave, Mary was very much sitting there kind of talking shit with Robin, right? Like, she was sitting there, oh, she never tried and stuff like that. And now Mary is sitting there saying, hey, I'm sitting here concocting this reason that I need to tell these people that I'm going to move my business, only my business, not myself, just my business, to the B&B, as if they would have even noticed if she didn't say anything. They would not have noticed. And that is sad. And Mary is sitting there saying, I'm having this conversation, which is idiotic, because I literally Mary could have been raptured and Cody and Robin would not have noticed. Cody and Robin would be sitting there saying, hang on with me, Mary. And Mary's like, hey guys, I have not orbited this planet in quite some time. So we have these two conversations. Mary goes over, and neither of them involved Cody, yet he still popped in to add his 2 cents. So Christine and Janelle meet up at the sister wives go to for family drama, Salsa Brava, the unsung hero of season 18. So they go and they're sitting down and they're discussing where Janelle's at in her relationship, which Janelle is gun shy. She doesn't want to pull the trigger on completely ending her marriage because she still has these religious convictions, but she does not want to be in this family dynamic anymore. Cut to an I actually kind of liked the way that they edited this episode together, because it kind of bounced back and forth and you kind of just saw the absolute la land that Cody and Robin are living in, because now we have Mary kind of echoing the same things that Janelle and Christine have been saying. Now Mary is like, literally have not heard from these people in 2 years. I'm telling you, I'm moving my business, but call me sometime, please. So Mary's meeting up with Robin. And if you guys notice, they were inside. So that was very exciting. So they're having their conversation while Christine and Janelle are having their conversation. And it's like, what we see is that Mary is really not here for Robin's bullshit anymore. Robin is saying she wants Mary to be happy. Well, Robin is saying how important Mary is to the family. But Robin, literally, what do you do all day that you can't even reach out to Mary to say, like, hi, how's it been? How's it going? You literally have had, and now we're hearing all these things, right? Now they're calling out. Christine and Janelle are calling out. One of the things that always set Robin set herself apart from this family by not including her children in the collective raising of all the children. Robin needed to have her own childcare. Janelle points out that it's not about getting along with her sister wives, because she gets along with Christine just fine. And Cody has never given a shit if she got along with Mary. This is about getting along with Robin. And Janelle calls this out. I am loving the fact that they are saying on the show, so fingers crossed this will be addressed in the tell-all in some capacity. I know I'm I have a lot of hope for the tell-alls still. I'm never going to give up hope on these tell-alls. But hopefully it will be addressed in some capacity. All these things that you never had tried to have a good relationship with these people. These people is one person, Robin. And doesn't it speak to Cody? Does it not speak to the fact that Christine leaves the family and the family falls apart? Whereas none of your kids have seen Robin in eons and life goes on. Robin could leave the family and it wouldn't affect most of the kids at all. In fact, probably the kids would say, hey, maybe we'll get our dad back. Maybe Garrison will come around and start to mend things with Cody. And I'm just wondering, because we don't really see Hunter or Logan appear on the show. We see Logan sometimes, or I'm sorry, we see Hunter sometimes. Logan's absolutely not. But Janelle never says it's Gabriel and Garrison, which I feel like it'd be easy to just say Robin has beef with Gabriel and Garrison. Cody is fighting with Gabriel and Garrison. But she says, my boys. I really think Hunter and Logan, for sure Hunter, but I really think Hunter and Logan are definitely not on good terms with Cody either. After the text chain, which from things people have said, from things that Gwen and McKelty have said online, Logan, McKelty claims that she started the text chain, but Gwen has said that this has been Logan's thing every year. Like he has organized it. It kind of all like who gets who kind of all goes through him. And this is this if I took the time and my family's going to shit, all the moms are leaving, no, and I'm trying to unify the siblings, and Robin's nosy ass just ruins everything, I'm feeling a type of way about that. Even if I'm like the best person on earth, which like Logan is the least problematic person in the Sister Wives metasphere, but it's unbelievable. I don't think that Logan and Hunter are very happy with their dad either. Okay. Oh, hi from Flagstaff. Ari looks so much like McKelty, and Saul is looking a lot like Logan. I was wondering who Saul looked like. And yeah, I can see that. Saul, man, Saul you could still convince me that Saul was like 8 years old, honestly, in his couch interviews. But man, Ariella has just shot right up. She has gone from looking like a toddler to now she is a little kid, and that is wild. Like watching these kids grow up. I just saw the episode of Cooking with Just Christine with Truly, and it's like, Truly, ma'am, who gave you permission to not be this little bald baby running around? Because I certainly have not gotten older. So when did you grow up? I'm having a hard time. Can I say I agree with Sarah in that thankfully we know that Janelle has left, and we know this. Otherwise, seeing Janelle and Cody on her birthday date would be so annoying. Yeah. First of all, let's talk about the next time on for just a second, because Cody says in the next time on that the only reason why he puts on airs with the other wives is because if he feels like it'll cause beef between him and Robin if he doesn't. Cut to, he's on this cringe date with Janelle, which Janelle is so over this. She is so over it. And he's saying he's jonesing like for a kiss. See, I really do think that Cody loves Janelle, and I don't think that Cody wants to be separated from her. But my goodness. My goodness. All right. So yeah, not a lot. Oh, and they had to show us, right, the motorbikes in use, and I can't wait to see um McKelty. McKelty is further ahead than Gwen is. Gwen just posted her reaction to episode 5, I think. Yeah, I think. Anyway, she just posted like an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago. And McKelty is current. So I'll be interested to see McKelty reacting to the motorbikes in use. And Aurora just ripping it. Was it Aurora or Brianna? Just ripping it on that ATV. That looked fun. The motorbikes looked kind of dinky, but the ATV looked fun. And I know that Dayton, where's Dayton? Doesn't look like he's participating in the show anymore either. He took a lesson from good old Daddy Logan and decided my mom might follow me to Flagstaff, but I don't got to put up with this anymore. And in Gwen's last, well, not this most recent, so the one before, she revealed that she has signed an NDA. So I think that Gwen's wedding planning, we know her wedding was not filmed, but I think her wedding planning, which heavily will involve at the same time David being integrated into the family, I think that is going to be a very pivotal part of the show. And so we're just chugging through this, filler, which isn't really filler because we need it for context. We need to lay a foundation. You know how in a trial, because we've been able to watch all these trials, like Johnny Depp and some other trials that we've been watching online that like Emily D. Baker live reacts to. They'll call in like the cell phone person to tell you like how cell phones work, how cell phone towers work. So then the prosecutor can tell you how this person's cell phone pinged off this look, right? But they have to lay the foundation. That's what we're getting in episodes like 6 and definitely 7. We need this foundation laid. We need to see Mary, all the lights turning on in Mary's head going ding, ding, ding. Robin is trying to vilify Christine. She's spinning a tale that's not true. Robin has not called me or come around in 2 years. They literally would not know if I was here. Like all of this stuff. And then Mary, who has always been reliable to film with for Robin and Cody, like we can go and film with Mary, and Mary, because she is clinging to hope that she might get into Cody's good graces again, will parrot whatever we want her to. We say that Christine has never tried, or Robin literally in season 17 sat there and called Christine a liar. Do you guys remember that? When Christine said that they had been struggling since Vegas, and Robin goes, "That's not true. You guys like went on a date sometime." As if probably Robin didn't have cordial moments with her ex-husband that she divorced. Robin seems to forget that, and Cody, but especially Robin seems to forget while she's playing dumb, like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Cody's going to do what Cody's going to do. She seems to forget that she has let her life be filmed for the past 18 seasons, for the past 13 years, or however long it's been. So it's like, we're not trying to be like nosy or go through your business, because your business is literally like 10 p.m. on Sunday nights for us. But it's not that hard to fact check you, Robs. And you're lying, girl. You are straight up deceiving us. And Mary's like, yeah, not going to participate in that bullshit anymore. Lizzie says to me, and thank you, Lizzie, this was never a polygamous marriage. This was a plural monogamy. Someone commented in our Facebook group, plural monogamy, that's like bigamy, right? I mean, if you try to file like many marriage certificates, that's called bigamy. But okay, so Cody's not actually trying to legally marry multiple women, but yeah, plural monogamy. Are we really splitting hairs to that degree? Sacred loneliness, and what are the other buzzwords of this season? Culpable, triggered, gaslight. We're halfway through and nothing has happened, but it's the next time on, Gwen's there, Garrison's there. It's going to start getting spicy. They're talking about moving. Oh, so I got up really early this morning because my 4-month-old, he decided that 4:30 a.m. was like the time to start his day. And I was like, okay. Then my daughter, who usually sleeps till about 6:30, she gets up at 5 and then decides, hey, I'm going to run around with the dog all over the house. So I was like, okay, like, all right, this is life. I literally took them to school this morning. It was still dark outside. So anyways, I come home, I see Gwen has posted. So I was like, oh, let me watch this before we go live. Well, I ended up falling asleep for half an hour. And that's not speaking to the rivetingness of Gwen's Patreon reaction. It was just, I was so tired. So, but in that live, she spoke to the beanbag chairs, which are Lovesac beanbags, which are the small one, she said, was $2,000. You guys, Cody, and it was Cody's idea to buy like a Lovesac one. Cody and Robin literally cannot shop on a budget. I'm actually surprised they have Amazon Prime, because I feel like anything on Amazon is way too poor for their standards. Like, it's not name brand. So it's not the Dickens Christmas Village. It's not the cruise ship artist, whoever that guy was. And whoever that guy was, the fact, because I have heard multiple times people say like art, obviously anything is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it. That's what I loved about like what happened with the whole Beanie Baby trend. I especially love that because I absolutely collected Beanie Babies back in the 90s, like with the little tag protector and all that. Like, oh my gosh, this was gonna send your kids to college, right? Like, you just have to buy this super rare Beanie Baby. And Beanie Babies are hardly even worth what it costs to make them. So, because things are only worth what people are willing to pay. So you can tell me that this painting or piece of art, printed whatever it is $10,000, but it's not worth $10,000 to me. But yeah, I digress. And we're at least approaching March 2022, so we are cooking right along. Which I'm happy about. I'm happy we are within now. Well, no, we're still a year and a half behind, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Did Robin drive up to Mary's in the truck that she thought Cody shouldn't have bought in order to move Janelle's RV? She sure did. She sure did. And someone reminded us that Cody had mentioned that Janelle was like incapable of driving such like a big boy truck. Like you need a man to drive that kind of a truck. And here's Robin in her Tory Burch flip-flops driving the truck. So Robin's mask is slipping. And yeah, you can tell that Mary is waking up. That is for sure. I think once Mary moves her business, she's going to like being away from Cody and Robin and won't come back. I mean, so Leon and Audrey, they live in Colorado, right? And this is the thing about Mary. Mary has, and Gwen has commented on this, and I think McKelty has also commented on this, and I think also Peyton, that that Mary has a found family. She has a ton of friends, and I don't think any of them live in Flagstaff. So yeah, go where your people are. There is no reason, and I don't know. I'm reserving judgment for just how dark things got with Mary for these kids during their childhood because we've heard a lot of conflicting reports. I'm sure Mary was no angel. With that being said, I certainly don't begrudge Mary this life of sacred loneliness. This is awful. Awful. And it always makes me wonder, like one of the things I've always wondered since like season, I don't know, probably since around the divorce, when it was really painfully obvious, when it started to become really painfully obvious that Cody just straight up doesn't like some of his wives. Like he always had beef with Christine. He always had this like vendetta against Christine. Had to like, and I mentioned this in my last video. It was absolutely unnecessary for Cody to mention the nacho incident at all. We never needed to know that. He married her. He had 6 kids with her. If she grossed him out at some point in their marriage or early dating, courting, whatever, we never needed to know that. And now it's a thing, right? Because you're on reality TV. You wrote it in a book, you put it down on paper, and now the fandom, the viewers who find this absolutely ridiculous are going to go back and reference that. And Cody only did that as a means to continue to humiliate Christine, because Christine can play it off, and she does. She has embraced it and made it a thing. Like here she is with David eating nachos, and she has made it. She has taken the power away from it for sure, but it's still shitty. It's still shitty to have had the person you were married to for 25 years be forever on paper and on television talking about how you grossed him out, how he was never, and then to have part of the reason why your marriage completely disintegrates be that there was going to be no intimacy and he was never attracted to you. He just has to always keep getting these digs in at Christine. And he doesn't even do that to Mary. And he certainly would never do that to Janelle. I don't understand this. Like, I mean, we all have eyes. Christine looks no more or less different than any of the other wives. I think as far as conventional attractiveness go, they're all pretty on par with each other. Robin just happens to be a decade younger, which, you know, is always gonna for men anyways, if a woman is 10 years younger, it's always gonna go, oh, so-and-so's 10 years younger. You know, Cody's pecs and abs lead him towards younger. So someone commented in the Facebook group. So wonder if really they're girls on the motorbikes, no faces shown. I noticed they're wearing like full head helmets. And it could totally be like some production assistants like, hey, Robin's not going to let anyone ride these. Let's just kind of whip around. We need some B-roll footage on Coyote Pass. But I will say, do you guys remember the Disney movie Motocross? I loved that movie. The side, like, underlying plot of that was that the girl had NSYNC tickets, and now NSYNC, they're definitely putting out a new song in the Trolls movie, and maybe hopefully we can manifest a reunion tour into existence. I don't know. But anyway, so they're twins, girl boy twins, and she Freaky Friday, well, not really Freaky Fridays, but she kind of goes as her brother when he breaks his leg, and, you know, proves that girls are just as tough as boys and all that good stuff. But it totally reminded me of like, oh my God, like motocrossed in real life. Oh. When Mary and Cody got the divorce for Robin's kids was when Mary was horribly hurt, but went ahead out of love for Cody. She has loved Cody all these years. Yeah. Yep. And this is the thanks she gets. I will say, at the very least, you know, we saw some dark times for Mary when the catfishing incident happened. I still to this day do not think that Mary has owned her the culpability that she actually has. She has not. She continues to deflect any responsibility. With that being said, that really affected her relationship with Leon, almost to the point where it was unclear if they would have a relationship going forward. But they seem to have really mended, and they have it seems like they have like a pretty good relationship with Mary now. And that is a really positive thing. So I'm very happy for Mary that she has her kids, the kids that want to have a relationship with her. And here's the thing. And, you know, whatever happened between Mykelti and Mary, whatever happened between Gwen and Peyton, this family is a public family, right? So I don't fault viewers, because I'm a viewer too, for wondering, well, what the heck happened? Because I wonder what the heck happened. It gets alluded to, and then, you know, you don't want to pry too much because that's like, you know, people's personal information. So it's like, if they don't want to talk about it, okay, but it's like, okay, you're kind of talking about it. So it's like, I don't know, where is that line? But it's like, okay, if nobody's going to talk about it, I'm going to feel bad for Mary sometimes, because I think she gets done wrong. I don't love Mary. I'm not like, you know, I don't really love everyone has their faults. Everyone has their redeeming qualities on this show. There are times I feel bad for Cody, honestly. There's times I feel bad for Robin. I wouldn't want my eyebrows to be ridiculed week after week. I mean, I would probably get some microblading. Of all the money she spends, I'd probably invest in a good microblader. I digress. Anyways, when Robin said, I'm throwing Mary a rope, so she has something to hang on to. Yeah, why don't you bring out Cody's jacket again to give? Do you want me to put it on and hug you? Bitch. Sorry. The sass. Oh, man. Hello, Christina. I wonder if Mary has seen the last season tell all yet at this point. If so, this is a change in her attitude towards Robin, perhaps. So I don't think so, actually. So this is Mary doesn't. Okay, so here's the thing. Mary's talking about downsizing. She does not move out of that house until April 2023. So she doesn't actually downsize. Mary, I think that Mary was slowly coming to her senses, but I think Mary, this whole season, we're gonna see her still fall back on, well, maybe we can get back into reconciling things. I think we're gonna see that this whole season from Mary. Because I don't think that Mary really woke up to the bullshit until it finally clicked during when they filmed the one-on-one tell-alls, and that was in October of 2022. So right now we're in what, like March 2022? She still has about 6 months to go. 6, 7 months to go. I just reposted a meme to my Instagram stories. What did it say? Hold on. It was really funny because it was like so accurate. Lee me. The only thing more embarrassing than my browser history is my calculator history. The way I cannot do basic math sometimes is quite sad. My mom is just so sad right now because she was the one who always told me my mom could do like, you know, when like a cashier can like count you back your change, they can count up to like how much whatever the transaction was supposed to be. My mom was like, you know, everyone should be able to do that. Like, it's, you know, you should learn how to do that. You're not always going to have a calculator with you. Little did she know that we would always have a calculator with us. So I'm sorry, Mom. She is like, all of that money on college. What a waste. All right. Let's get to some comments and questions. Fat olives. I miss fat olives. Someone said that they think that the reason why we're at the Brav so much is people have said who have gone there say it's really good food, actually, which it looks like it's good food. So the other thing was that any chain restaurant, like if they were to go to like a Cheesecake Factory, I don't know if they have the Cheesecake Factory in Flagstaff, but if they were to go somewhere like that, they would have to get like corporate approval and stuff like that. It's much easier. Also, it looks like they're filming in some sort of like party room or event room at the Brav, and that's probably why it's like a lot easier to film. But they have gone to Fat Olives a couple times, and you know, if they're ever feeling Italian, they can always, I mean, they serve lemon water both places. So Cody is a happy camper. Mary is financially important. You could see Robin this episode start to, you know, I just said how terrible I am at math. I don't think Robin is much better than me, but you could start seeing like, okay, my mortgage is this much, my art budget is this much, my watermelon budget is this much. Like she is starting to, my Victoria's Secret budget is this much. This is like I need some wives. And like, hello, I haven't even talked about the nanny yet. Like, how is she going to pay for the nanny? What does Robin do? Honestly. Because I work a full-time job. I do this YouTube channel. I have 2 kids. I don't have like I mean, my kids go to childcare. I don't have childcare commitment or anything. But like Robin, even when My Sister Wives closet was, in its prime. Wasn't it Mary that was fulfilling the orders? Like, what was Robin actually doing? What has Robin actually ever done? Robin couldn't even figure out where to put the bills for Janelle to pay them. Remember that one episode where she was like, "What do? I just put it here. Like, this is how this gets paid." What were you doing before, Robin? Were you not paying your bills before? Robin's been doing this, like, I'm just a dumb woman thing for a long time, and it's tired. It's time to retire that. Wait, what? Fat Olives no longer will allow any taping because of Cody's behavior? Ooh, if true. Don't get kicked out of Salsa Brava, Cody, or else we're going to be at like Panera on the patio, and that's just going to be obnoxious. Although I do love Panera. More plural monogamy. What? Cody was rude to the South. I mean, I have no doubt, but ugh. How rude. Like, seriously. I feel so bad because that this staff did not get paid anymore for working this like they just either happened to be there when they were filming, or they were like, let's have the best of the best be on camera. They certainly were not compensated any more than their regular work job pay, and to have to endure getting like be rude by a patron like Cody. Ugh. I hate that. Gwen's reaction on Patreon today was very telling of Robin's desire for it to be all about her. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow, Teresa. Don't you worry. We're going to talk about that tomorrow because I noticed some things and I have some questions. I'm wondering if, because we know that Gwen signed an NDA. That's what she said in 2 videos ago that she uploaded to her Patreon. And a lot of people have been wondering, why isn't Gwen uploading to her YouTube channel? Gwen has over 100,000 followers. There's no way that she is making more money on her Patreon than she would be if she was uploading those videos to YouTube. She would be making more by uploading them to YouTube. So why isn't she uploading them to YouTube? Did she come to some sort, and we know because she said that her dad gave her like a large sum of money around Christmas 2021. Is she getting it? Does she have her own contract now with TLC where maybe they say, okay, you can do Patreon, but you can't do YouTube? I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm just wondering. Could it be that she has agreed to not, because YouTube gets seen by hundreds of thousands of people. Patreon, I mean, unless people are breaking terms of service and reposting her content, like I will talk about her content, but I'm not going to post anything that's behind a paywall. So unless people are doing that, only her paying patrons will see that, which she has a lot. She has several thousand, but it's not the hundreds of thousands that people are seeing on YouTube. So why isn't she posting on YouTube? Also, obviously when you put things behind a paywall, a lot of times people that are quote trolls are not going to pay to troll you, like a lot of times. So that can kind of filter that out. So it could be that she just doesn't want to deal with like unwanted comments, which I get. I can understand that. So but I'm just so curious. Just so curious. So you guys, we are we are straight up conspiracy theorists, and I love it. I am here for it. The scene of Aurora on the ATV doesn't look like a female body. Looks like it's Cody. I'm thinking maybe production assistants, because hey, they have probably witnessed some boring ass campfire conversations over the last 2-3 years. And if they were like, hey, if the director or a cameraman was like, hey, Bob the PA, do you want to go ride around and we can pretend you're Aurora? If I'm Bob, I'd be like, heck yeah. Ride around on an ATV. Cody was more carefree before Robin. Her anxiety rubbed off on him. And I have an anxiety disorder. I've talked about it before. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I was diagnosed when I was 19. I am in weekly therapy to manage it. I'm on medication, the whole nine. The one thing that is so important to me, one of the most important things to me is that and this is just a personal thing, I guess, for me, but it's something that I constantly work with my therapist, is that I don't want my anxiety disorder to rub off on my kids, for sure. But I don't want it to affect my marriage. I don't want it to affect my relationships with my other family members. This is something that I need to work on within myself. And I don't want to use my family members as scapegoats, and I don't want to use them as crutches. So that is something I'm constantly working on. And it's hard. It is hard. But to have the self-awareness, it's important, because it's not your family members, and certainly not your kids, should not have to shoulder that burden for you. And that's just my opinion. Anyways, who is the common denominator that everyone has a beef with? Robin. Yep. And anxiety and things like that don't excuse shitty behavior. You're still you can have all the anxiety disorders in the world, but if you're acting like an asshole, you need to be accountable for acting like an asshole. You sitting there playing dumb and saying it's not your fault that you speak Cody, that you are somehow the Cody whisperer. Well, that's fine. We hear all the time, watching these polygamy documentaries and watching shows about escaping polygamy and stuff. People say it's actually fairly common for there to be a favorite wife, and that's not the issue. It doesn't seem like that's not the core issue. The core issue is how that favorite wife treats everyone else. How does the husband treat everyone else? Are you treating everyone? Is it one favorite wife and everyone else is dog shit? That's a problem. Is it, oh, we know that, Cody and Robin have this special bond and they really seem to like speak each other's languages, but I have my own bond with Cody? That's fine. Plural monogamy, whatever. But not, I get like neglected and emotionally abused, and if I have beef with Robin for some reason, it just makes everything 10 times worse. Thank you, Lion Mom. Why was the divorce necessary? All of his bio kids didn't have health care for Isabel. That's how they were able to get federal assistance through the years. The OG3 should have raised hell years ago. Yep. Many people have commented, I am not a lawyer. I am not a legal professional by any means, but people have said that it wasn't legally necessary for him to divorce Mary to marry Robin to adopt those kids. I'm sure that it did make the process a lot easier, But Robin did want that legal wife status. That is for sure. I think that Robin, it was not going to be acceptable to have you take a huge risk being a non-legal wife in polygamy, having all these kids that, and again, I don't know how legally that all works out, if there's no will in place and whatever. But if Cody's not on these kids' birth certificates, I don't know if you're a lawyer, do they have legal claim to any of Cody's stuff? And then someone was telling me today that a lot of times, because I was talking about Cody's nephew's interview with Cults to Consciousness, and they were talking about how the ranch in Wyoming was intended to be used as some sort of doomsday location for the AUB. And if I'm Cody or any of Wynn Brown's kids, and I'm thinking I'm going to inherit a ranch one day, and then my dad converts to this faith that kind of jacks me of my inheritance, I'm pissed, right? But someone told me that actually it's quite common. I don't know in mainstream LDS, but at least in the AUB, maybe even FLDS, to bequeath, whatever that word is, all your belongings to them. If you're a kid, that is like when someone, well, no, that's rude. I'm not going to say that. That's like when someone dies, didn't like Bill Gates isn't dead, but isn't he like giving all of his money to charity, which he has a shit ton of money. So he should give most of that to charity. But it's like, you can't throw your kids a couple mil. Like you're Bill Gates. I don't even know. All right. All right. Robin is a compulsive liar. Whatever she says, the opposite is true. Yeah. So she never wanted polygamous lifestyle. She wanted to be the only one from the start and use her kids to accomplish her goals. I think she always wanted, my personal opinion is I think Robin always wanted to be the favorite wife. I think that was always important to her. But Robin doesn't talk about how like attracted she is to Cody. We hear he's a good guy. We hear he's a good dad. Both things are debatable in my opinion. But we don't hear, oh my God, his hair looks so sexy, pushback, or however Janelle loves him with the long hair, whatever. He's such a hunk of burning love. I don't think I've ever heard Robin say that. I don't know how hot for Cody Robin is. I think that stability, and not even stability, but prosperity has always been the most important thing to Robin. Was never going to be poor. She just wasn't. And that was the most important thing to her. And here's this family. So she's raised in polygamy. And whatever, polygamy, take it or leave it, whatever her feelings on it are. But here's this family that's going to go on TV. So it doesn't have to be like hidden. She doesn't have to inflict that additional trauma onto her kids like it was on her. Okay. Bonus. Her one marriage crumbled. That was a disaster. She has all this debt, which that's a big bummer. And she's like, hey, it's an advantageous, Robin is an advantageous move maker. She's like plays chess. She's like a chess player. Tony apparently is like a professional chess player. I didn't know that. Cody doesn't love Robin, and she is not his soulmate. He's a narcissist and incapable of love. Aurora is the golden child who can do no wrong, but he's using her too. I wonder. So, one of the podcasts that I listen to, they kind of think that there's kind of like a Munchausen situation going on with Aurora, and I don't know. But she definitely has bought in hook, line, and sinker to whatever Cody and Robin, the tale that they are spinning. Okay. But what about Brianna? What about Dayton? I don't know. Like, I could see a world. Maybe I'm just manifesting this. I could manifest a world where Dayton, now he was like a triple major. This kid is accomplished. And I find I would love to know more about like his interests and what he wants to do. Like, I could give a shit about these mini bikes. Like, I would love to know about like their interests now. I think Aurora's interests are whatever Robin's interests are. But I think that Dayton and Brianna are not the little foot soldiers that Robin has tried to make them. And I secretly want Dayton to do some sort of tell-all. His own tell-all. Yes, the Catholic Church did get rich doing the same. People leaving their stuff. That's a lot of religious organizations get huge endowments, donations. Yeah, quite common. But again, like, I'm sitting there, my dad owns a ranch. I'm thinking, I'm going to get this ranch. And then my dad's like, psych, actually, this is going to be our bunker in the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, Dad. Oh, Dad. You would think Cody never has a wife, let alone 4, with his lack of knowledge on women. It's frightening. And not only does he have 4 wives, but he has does he have more daughters? Let's see. There are 4 boys for Janelle, Peyton, Dayton, and Saul. So that's 7 boys and then 10 girls. So it's almost an even split, but he has more daughters. And we saw his hormone speech, right? That was atrocious. So, okay. The mainstream LDS doesn't do that. Thank you. Robin wants polygamy. She, her kids, and Cody and the other wives work to support them. That I buy into that for sure. But honestly, like, wouldn't you be bored? Like, all your kids are in school now, and your kids, when at least Saul and Ari, when they were babies, you had childcare because. And here's the thing, this show doesn't film like, if you watched Vice's Dark Side of the 2000s or whatever that show, but the first episode, which was about John and Kate plus 8, they talk about that filming schedule was nuts. Like, they were filming all the time. Sister Wives is not filming all the time. So literally, Robin, what are you doing? What are you doing that is above and beyond or even equal to what the other women are doing who are also participating in this show and raising their kids without childcare? I don't understand. Because, and I think Gwen, in the video she uploaded today, pointed out and acknowledged the fact that truly often gets forgotten about. Not by anyone else besides Cody and Robin. But that truly is only a year older than Saul. And, you know, Saul and Ari have been deemed the tenders and these little kids, and they're kids still, they're minors, but they're not babies anymore. They're school-age children. And it's quite something to see Robin work so hard. And I think there is a pathology there that because Cody goes on and on about how his obligation is to his younger kids, and now Robin is in her 40s. I don't know. Me and my 40, well, I got my tubes tied after my son, so I'm not having any more kids, period. But I'm not having kids in my 40s. That sounds like straight up not a good time to me. It happens, but that is not like, Robin, you have 5 kids, girl. And she was talking just a couple seasons ago about possibly having another kid. But if she's not having another kid, how do you keep the little kids that you have tender aged in Cody's mind? I think that plays into why we still have seen Ari with a pacifier in her mouth. It very well could be a self-soothing mechanism for Ari. But part of me thinks, like, is this encouraged by Robin? I don't know. My tinfoil hat theories are going crazy. All right, let's do a couple more comments and then we'll wrap up for tonight. Tonight went fast, you guys. They are preppers. I hear Munchausen by proxy on every YouTube video I watch now. Is that the syndrome of the year? It is in the news a lot. I think after and I think Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she's coming up for parole, or she got paroled. That was like one of the biggest major cases of Munchausen that I was aware of. There's been others. It's Munchausen by proxy, and it's not called that anymore. It's called like factitious or fictitious disorder, something more clinical sounding. But it is, yeah, it's so, I think, bizarre and hard to comprehend that when you hear stories, it's like, oh wow, like this is happening 2 times. What? But yeah, there's something there. Robin is trying to, I'm not accusing Robin of Munchausen's by proxy or anything like that, but there is something there. Like these kids, she is actively trying to impede her kids from becoming thriving adults. And it's weird. There's something weird there. It looks like Dayton is wiggling out of that. And I don't know if Brianna is or what. We'll see with Sari and Saul and Ari as they get older. But it does seem that Aurora has said, like, this is my lot in life and this is what I'm going to do. She allowed herself to think for herself and decided to get her ears pierced because all of a sudden we need content. Like, did she even want to get her ears pierced? It makes me wonder, like, was Robin like, hey, we need you to go get your ears pierced? And she was like, oh, okay. I don't really want to, but I guess we'll talk. We need to talk about all the ear piercing stuff. Meanwhile, Brianna's probably sitting there like, I got my belly button pierced 5 years ago. Just kidding. I don't know. Yes, the Take Care of Maya trial, falsely accused of that. And that is on trial right now. Heartbreaking documentary on Netflix. I just randomly put that on like a month ago when it came out. I had no idea. I never heard of this case. And I was like, so we're sitting there watching it. And again, never heard of this case. And the one lawyer said something like, and I bet the judge is never going to forget not allowing the mother to hug Maya at whatever hearing. And I was like, huh, that's like a little bit dramatic. But like the very next sentence was, oh, and you know, the mom passed away. I was like, ah, I feel like a big old asshole. All right. Tender aged is a creepy term. I don't love it. I don't love it. And I didn't love when Cody referred to Ariella as the social lubricant of the family. Did not love that. I don't get any sinister vibes from Cody. Honestly, I don't. I just don't love those terms. They're weird. Helicopter parent putting her anxiety on them. She does. Yep. All right. Let's end here. Have a good week. Great week, everyone. I will see you next Monday night. I, of course, will see you live Monday, but I will also see you guys tomorrow. We're going to talk about the things Gwen had to say about Robin in her latest Patreon upload, because I find it very interesting. Gwen is definitely, it seems to me, trying to not actually absolutely drag her father for filth. And I can respect that. She's keeping it classy. But she does not, she keeps it dignified about Robin, but she tells you how she feels about Robin. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. All right, you guys, have a good night. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.